Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the month of July 2022. This is a general reading with messages meant for those with Scorpio in their birth chart. However, cross watchers are also welcome. Take into consideration that roles of the individuals or energies identified in this reading may be swapped, and that the intensity of the energy or the situation may vary. Feel free to take whatever messages resonate and leave behind for others whatever does not. So we're starting with a Celtic Cross reading and closing off with an oracle card message. Here, the present situation, you have the Chariot. What crosses or complements, you have Queen of Swords. Above, you have the Hierophant. Below, Knight of Cups. In the past position, you have the Fool. In the near future, you have Six of Cups. Your attitude of the situation, you have King of Wands. In your environment, Seven of Pentacles. Your hopes and fears, Four of Cups. And the outcome, you have 10 of Swords. So here in the past position with the Fool, kind of indicates some type of, some leap of faith, some new beginning, with excitement, possibly a sense of unawareness, but that kind of led to the adventure of the situation. And with your hopes and fears being the Four of Cups, kind of indicates that the excitement is kind of worn off, possibly not what you were expecting. Probably not really being aware of the surroundings. You have here this individual that's kind of internalizing emotions and not seeing this cup being offered in the distance behind them. To some degree, there is a sense of not recognizing your environment and a need to have a sense of gratitude, be grateful for the small things. With the Chariot, there seems to be at the heart of this situation some kind of desire to that this path that you started on would lead to a victorious outcome. And with the Queen of Swords here, Queen of Swords is kind of an energy of independence, to some degree coldness. Usually the Queen of Swords is someone who communicates their truth, they're honest. There might be there might be a lack of sensitivity, but there is that idea that given a clear sense of the facts and reasonable analysis of the situation, it should explain itself. So perhaps there is not really an appreciation for a little bit of sensitivity to the situation. With the Hierophant above, this represents the position of the conscious mind, kind of indicates some type of rules, structure, institution, possibly teaching or becoming an expert in something. And here in the position of the unconscious mind with the King of Cups, it indicates a desire to connect from the heart. For some of you, there seems to be like this may have to do with a relationship. The Hierophant is also kind of a card of seen as being more traditional and possibly even commitment. So for some of you, there is a sense of, maybe having excitement about a new relationship and really thinking that this could lead to something significant. And it could be that with this Queen of Swords, maybe a person, it may be like a mother figure, it may be a friend, it may be the person that, the energy of the person that you were looking to start a relationship with, kind of being a little like cold or standoffish, or kind of just the facts, having you really not look at things, or being more realistic type of thing. Excuse me. But here, this underlying motivation is this desire to really connect with from the heart. So your attitude here of this situation with the King of Wands is almost a sense of, here it's like a sense of confidence and a sense of leadership, and being very, very much like a visionary leader. But here in this position, it's almost a sense of like, I will, burn everything in my path and get what I want. So that's the kind of sense I'm getting, but we'll clarify that. In your environment with the Seven of Pentacles, the environment indicates external forces that are influencing you. And the Seven of Pentacles is kind of having invested in something and not really getting that instant result. And to some degree, what's the word? Wondering if it's worth investing in even more. With the Four of Cups here in the hopes and fears, this can be a card of like meditation and needing to have some introspection about your feelings. But it is also a sense of like not really being aware of what is being offered to you. With the Six of Cups, there is a sense of possibly looking at your past, like feelings of nostalgia, possibly even looking at the aspects of the Fool that initially were associated with this journey. And with the outcome being the Ten of Swords, this is kind of the thought process is kind of over and done with. If you trusted someone and were betrayed, then now you know. If this is more of, your self-sabotage, then, with the Queen of Swords, it could be a sense of like reality coming in, or wanting to protect yourself from some type of potential like upset, or looking like you are like vulnerable. It's almost as if there is a shift to kind of recognizing that those thoughts, the way, that way of approaching things doesn't work out. To some degree, To some degree, this King of Wands could be, more of the shadow or darker side of the King of Wands, someone that's jealous, someone that's kind of narcissistic in a way. Not saying that you are those things. It could be just, a temporary kind of aspect that, everyone kind of goes through. So let's do some clarification here. Let's take a look at the Fool in the past. You have 9 of Cups. So definitely a situation where there was a feeling of happiness and being content. This could be amazing. Whatever you want, you can make that happen. That type of confidence. So let's take a look at the Chariot here. You have King of Pentacles. So definitely this situation, there was some type of idea that you would be protected, you would be, come out on top. And the sense of losing or, not winning wasn't something that was even considered. So let's see what's up with the Queen of Swords here. You have the 6 of Cups. So to some degree, it does kind of indicate, 6 of Cups is about a sense of balance and harmony, childhood, past memories. It's also a sense of like cooperation and getting help. So to some degree, whatever this is, you may have had this, it's almost like a parent figure, someone who is like trying to make decisions or telling you to be more reasonable, is kind of having you, it's kind of interrupting the way that this could go. Here with the Hierophant above, there's very rigid rules on what needs to be done, and the Queen of Swords is the type of energy that would keep to those rules. You have to, stay within the lines. You have to, accomplish things according to this criteria. And really, with the 6 of Cups here, it's almost as if this energy is something that you've even experienced when you were younger, and possibly even affected this view of something new, like something that you're excited about, and kind of like brought you down to reality. Kind of like not necessarily having to be like a verbally abusive type of parent, but just kind of, bursting your bubble when it comes to things that you might be excited about as a child, and like it's almost like a, what is it called, helicopter parent type of thing. So let's take a look at the Knight of Cups below. Oh, actually, no, let's take a look at the Hierophant above. This concept of like certain like rules, traditions. You have the 6 of Swords. So 6s are generally about balance and harmony. With the 6 of Swords, there is a need to kind of move on. And in the traditional 6 of Swords, there is like a mother type figure or a parent type figure and a child type figure in this boat, and the ferryman is you know, assisting to make this move. This is a transition. You know, for some of you, this isn't just about rules. This is, it's kind of like life rules, or, you know, life restrictions. It could be that there were, you know, if you grew up in a religious household, or just a very strict household. So let's take a look at the Knight of Cups. You have the Eight of Swords. So definitely the swords are kind of really coming in, this concept of how you communicate, what a sense of truth is. But with the Eight of Swords, this communication is almost obscuring the truth. This is a restriction that you attribute to someone else, to something else, to a parent, to, or, you know, to dogma, to some type of strict rules and regulations you have to live by. But really, you are the one that is restricting yourself. And when you start being more aware of your environment and seeing what is reality, what you can control, and what is, you know, fiction or other people's voices or opinions, you can start kind of recognizing these are just swords, ideas, thoughts, and you can start moving them aside or getting rid of them. So to some degree, there's this desire that you have, that is motivating you. And it's almost like you are fighting against yourself, because you want to be this person that is more creative, and kind of going with the flow, and not like rigid, and kind of being this type of this type of these rules. And it might be that the rules are there to ensure a certain outcome, to help you to whatever victory that you are, you know, on the path towards. But it could be that there's a sense of wondering if this would be a victory that even interests you, because of the, you know, the Four of Cups here. So let's see about this King of Wands in your current attitude. You have the Page of Pentacles. So it kind of indicates, the Page of Pentacles is kind of like the Fool, in the sense of having new experiences and trying to get a sense of, you know, value to their environment, and learning what's going on. But it's almost as if with this King of Wands, which is more of the, you know, active, making things happen, being in control. The pages are associated with the element of earth, and so are pentacles. And those, you know, that element is more receptive, more trying to honor the value in the material world. So again, it's concept of what you feel like you should do, and what you're really doing is you're trying to get a grasp of, like, trying to get your footing even. So let's see in the Seven of Pentacles, which is your the environment, external factors. Let's see what's there. You have the Page of Wands, and it's also like the Fool. So here, it could be that what's influencing you is possibly seeing other people having pursued what they want to pursue, expressing themselves, not really being, not really having that sense of security, like the King of Pentacles, and not having the rules and regulations and like the reason analysis based kind of not cause and effect, cost benefit analysis. Like usually the Seven of Pentacles, there is that cost benefit analysis, but to figure out if it's worth investing more, you need to look at what were you hoping for in the beginning. So it could be that others around you, they're not really where they want to be, but in the beginning, they were really excited about pursuing this path or expressing themselves in this way. And if this is a passion that they truly, connected with, then it's worth investing. And the outcome will definitely be positive. But if it's a beginning, if it's a journey that was done just to get to a potential end result, financial security, material success, those types of things, if that was the start of the journey was just to get to this end goal, then it kind of might not be worth investing in. So here with the hopes and fears with the Four of Cups, it's a sense of like not really being excited, a sense of boredom or apathy, but also just not having an awareness of what's really going on. So let's take a look at the Four of Cups. You have Five of Swords. Five of Swords is a sense of false victory, a sense of not knowing when to walk away from a lose-lose situation, and also that idea for like you to succeed, you need to cut down everything in your path. So in the hopes and fears, there is this fear of it not really being for you and not being able to walk away from this situation. And I guess the hope is that it will be what you're looking for and it will lead to victory. But here it is kind of seeming as if there's going to be a recognition of the thoughts that have been kind of overpowering the situation are going to come to light, and you're going to become aware of that. So let's take a look at the Six of Cups in your near future. It's almost as if there's a reflection on this connection with the Queen of Swords and Six of Cups that will really help you to get clarity. So let's take a look there. You have Five of Wands. So here, similar to the Five of Swords, the Five of Wands is also about conflict, chaos. But unlike the Five of Swords, the Five of Wands is just about having, it's not meant to injure. It's just, in the traditional Five of Wands, it's just almost play fighting, and not really knowing where to apply your passion, maybe not even being on the same page as other people. Everyone has their own ideas of what to do, their own motivators, their own goals or own outcome. And it's like kind of minor annoyances and arguments and so forth. But if you don't get an understanding of that, this is just everybody kind of going through their growing pains and trying to figure out how to manifest their their ideas and their passions, then it can probably lead to this Five of Swords situation where, you know, they have to win and not even allow for other voices, other opinions to enter the mix. So let's see with the outcome here in the Ten of Swords. You have the Wheel of Fortune. So here is a card of changes, you know, ups and downs. Things are constantly turning. The Ten of Swords is like not a great card to have, but in the traditional Ten of Swords, there is like a sun rising in the distance, and that kind of indicates a new dawn ahead. So it's almost as if this really does need to happen. And I pulled out one more card here to get a more of a sense of what would come next. And with this Three of Wands, it is a sense of, you know, an explorer, expanding, growing, and kind of going outside of their comfort zone and really pursuing what they want to pursue and making the connections and goals that they want. So it's almost as if this really needs to happen for you. This, whatever this situation is, whatever these swords represent to you, and how they may affect, have been affected by someone who kind of bursted your bubble and maybe caused like conflict in your life, maybe caused conflict with you and your friends. Who knows? But it seems like, well, you know, it's for you to kind of look at and see where has this type of thinking led you in the past, and really how do you kind of recognize that this concept of wanting to communicate from the heart, from your using your imagination, being passionate about something. How do you recognize the way that you communicate with yourself, the ideas that you have about approaching life that way, that you can change and maybe have inherited from other people, trying to apply some type of control or rules in your life. So let's pull a couple of oracle cards for advice from the universe. You have this card of bad health. And I think it's interesting. There's this nurse kind of overseeing this patient. It's an elderly patient, but when I saw this card, it kind of made me think of like a mother nursing their child. And it's also kind of made me think of the traditional Six of Swords, of almost this sense of like a protection, like a mother-like protection that really has turned into something where it's like a codependency or control, where it's almost making me think of, what's that word? Munchausen syndrome, where, you know, the parents are constantly making the kids sick so that they can take the glory of, you know, looking like they're taking care of their kid, they're taking care of the situation. I'm not saying necessarily that your parent has done that, but there can be this sense of control and protection, where it's like, you know, if it's expected when you grew up that you would do things this way, and now you're trying to do things a different way because you're kind of coming from the heart and trying to explore how you feel and what you want. And it's like you're being questioned about that, and like, oh, are you okay? Because you used to do things this way and now you're doing things that way. What does that mean? So that's what it kind of makes me think about. So let's pull a couple. These cards wanted to come out. So you have this card of staying focused, hold the course, and you have this card of Wondrous Universe, Walk in Beauty, Wondrous Universe. So here is this concept of like the Fool again, of really having open arms, like a sense of open arms and open heart, and experiencing your life, like looking at the world through the eyes of a child, and really, appreciating everything that's there, being aware of your surroundings, taking things, appreciating the small things, not taking things for granted, and being grateful for the small things, having this approach of really seeing things in a new way and creating your own sense of value for them. Here with this staying focused, hold the course, it's almost as if this is like, if you had a goal in mind, there might be, obstacles, but here it's being able to narrow in on what it is you want. And if that's for you, staying on that course that is for you, where's the outcome that you want. And if it's not the outcome that you want, then making the changes along the way. But here, with this card of bad health, there is a way to change that. And here is really going through this mental process, realizing these things, and kind of allowing the natural course of that new day, that new dawn, to kind of come up and take advantage of that, so that you can explore what you truly want. So I'm hoping that this provides a helpful perspective of your month to get deeper into what the month holds for you. Check out your readings for your sun, moon, and rising signs, and we'll see you next time. Take care.